Aloha all, this is Samana. This is my 39th podcast. And it's the full moon in Libra today. So although this comes out on Thursday, I wanted to post today. I woke up before the sunrise. Being the Libra that I am, I have a lot of energy. I've been posting online. We have an event with David Garrison and myself, a meetup on Facebook that is going to be a Zoom call. It's donation to $0 to $10, whatever you want. So sign up if you're interested. I'm very excited about it. That's going to be this Thursday night, the 9th, 6:30 to 7. Wait a minute. I'm sorry about that. I think it's 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central Time, Texas time. So, would love to have you. We're going to do some fun breakout rooms and get into some stuff. So, that's the little pitch there. Also, so let's talk about this full moon, regardless if you're science-based or spiritual, woo-woo, whatever your belief is. I do believe that we're all affected by our external, the universe, the elements, the planets, the weather, the other people, everything. And a lot of us being isolated, I believe the weather and external influences are going to be more affecting us because we're all quite vulnerable right now. This full moon in Libra, it's basically the full moon is a spotlight over the next month for all of us. And wherever Libra is in your astrology chart, that kind of gives you a little more answers to what it's going to light up. But for all of us, Libra represents, rules the planet Venus, so things that we value, things about dressing up or having a nice meal or spending quality time. Libra also has to do with partnership, so that's intimate romantic partnership. That's also relationships on any level, to your children, to your family, to friends, to co-workers, to roommates, however that is. So all that's going to be highlighted, and it's kind of that polarity because the full moon means that it's opposite where the sun is. So the sun is in Aries right now, which is about, it's the infant of the zodiac. It has a lot of physical energy. It's impulsive. It's me. It's all about me. It's that type of energy versus Libra, which is all about the other. It's all about partnership. But what about you? And both of those, when they're out of balance, the Aries could be too self-centered and too alone. And too impulsive without asking for help or judging themselves when they need help. And the Libra could be too much about the other person in the exclusion of their own needs, and knowing what that balance is, always trying to find a balance. So all of us have all the archetypes in us, and this is kind of what's up this month, which is beautiful because we have so many unknown things happening in our world right now. So I'm calling this podcast Redesigning Our Relationships. And that's the essence of what our meetup's going to be about Thursday. And hopefully if there's enough interest, we'll do it a couple times a month because I love it. This is what I love. Now, my belief, any of you that know me or have heard my other podcasts or have had counseling with me, that my whole platform is that unless we heal ourselves, unless we work on ourselves and understand this complex creature that we are, to know what our needs are, to know when we're acting out or in a behavior that we're not proud of, why are we acting out? So if we could identify the need that's not getting met and find what's within our power in these limited situations right now, in our quarantines and our isolations, what is still within our power that we could do to support ourselves, to build ourselves up. I've had several people tell me lately that they have revisited my podcast that was on cutting ties or cutting cords with toxic relationships, because that's very important regardless if they're with you presently or not. That's important to clear that out. And then the other one on the inner child. So both of those are very much of value. So I'm not going to go too much over that in this one. But looking at how we can every day find ways to do our routine. Like I've been saying, get up at a similar time and go to bed at a similar time. Limit your screen time, limit your TV time. Get out in nature, regardless if you're in your backyard or looking out a window, if you're in an apartment, or if you can go to the park. I went to the park yesterday, worked out a little bit, so that was good. I work out every day. I'm working out a few times a day because what else is there to do? So that's a good habit. Let's create some good habits, good addictions that are feeding and sustaining us. And if any of you want a private session with me, I am busy. I'm probably, yes, a lot of my day is busy doing either friends, family, clients, counseling, but I do have time, and I'm doing a sliding scale from 25 and up, that we could create a daily routine. Tell me what your circumstances and your situations and we'll figure out your needs together, and then we'll come up with a daily routine that then it will be up to you to commit to. And applying this to redesigning our relationships, it always starts with our relationship to ourself. And then by that, the reflection of our inside world is always seen in our outside world. So if you're lonely, if you're drawing not the right people or partners or friends to you, if you're not getting your needs met externally, I guarantee your relationship to yourself, your commitment to getting your needs met is off. And we can't expect someone to be that eternal parent or authority that's going to say, oh, Samana, stop and take care of yourself. We need to do it ourselves. We need to know, wait a minute, I'm deficient. I'm telling everybody right now, if you're working from home, online, or whatever you're doing, that we are going to get stressed out. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the call. Don't respond to the text if you're in a fragile place. Like, learn to commit to yourself beyond all others first. And by doing that, by really knowing that, wait a minute, I don't have anything to give right now, I want to give of quality, then you're going to start to build this sense of self confidence, this sense of, okay, I'm there for myself. This is good. I feel secure. I feel like someone is always watching over me, because that someone is you. And then once you have that established, if you're already in a partnership or you're living with someone and it's that intimate space, or you are trying to date online right now, then as you work on your inner self, you'll notice the way you view others outside will be easier for you. So to believe these old paradigms that you'll be completed by another person is a setup for suffering and failure. That's not going to happen. And now more so than ever, the beauty of this time is our whole belief system is collapsing. Our whole everything that was our structure, that was our foundation in politics and in everything, in all aspects of the world, everywhere, not just America, all of us have no clue of what's going to happen from moment to moment. And the beauty of that is, because of the collapse, as we start to see the rubble and the dust settle, we will be able to rebuild and renew. We are in springtime. This is a time for seeds to be planted. These seeds of ourself, our sense of self, our sense of what I want in partnership, what I want in my friendships. Like, do you have friendships that are draining, that are one-sided, that is too much for you? Because I'm going to tell you right now, now is a time for that equilibrium. Now is a time for balance. This is the Libra moon. Now is a time to question, am I always giving? Am I always taking? How about I listen to that other person? How about I text them first and say, how are you today? How about I say, you know what, I don't have it in me. Can you listen to me? I'm having a hard time right now. So any of those things, any of those extremes, but looking in terms of relationship, as we're working and committing to a daily regimen of self-care tools, because we have the time, If you are in a partnership, asking your partner, do they want to do some of these tools with you, alongside you? Do they want to journal alongside you? Do they want to read an inspiring book alongside you? Do they want to work out alongside you? Do they want to dance with you on the full moon tonight? Do they want to sing? Do they want to paint with you? Whatever. There's so many things we can do together, and you could do that virtually, or you could do that in the same house. You could say, let's, Skype each other and do a meditation together, or a guided meditation. You both take turns being the lead and guiding the other one through it, or movement or yoga or anything. There's so many ways. We are given the blessing right now of so much personal one-on-one time to connect that we've never had before, that we've all had that mind thinking, okay, this is more urgent, this is more important, I'm going to stay distracted. Right now, our tool, our greatest tool, is to know that we only have this moment. That's never been more real in our time on this planet. The more tragedy, the more crisis there is around us, the more we have to just keep doing that cleansing breath throughout the day, releasing that excess energy on our heart, and know that we have to just stay present and keep checking in. What am I feeling right now? How is Samana today when I wake up? What is this day like? What are my needs? What can I do today to fulfill those needs? First. And the second would be, what are my partner's needs? Can I check in with my partner? What can I do to help fulfill those needs for my partner or family or friends or children? But start with yourself first. Remember, in the airplane, the oxygen mask goes on you first during a crash, then others. That's kind of how life is, and it's more so that way. And I've said this before, but it's so important. If you're going through depression right now, you are so attached to the past and what was. And I'm telling you, compassionately, we're all going to go back and forth with that. We're all going to feel that sense of I have no ground today. I have no balance today. I am overwhelmed. And then just be kind to yourself. Do something nurturing and nourishing. Take a sea salt bath. Go out for a walk outside. Do some Tai Chi. There's all these tutorials and videos and whatever it takes. And be kind to yourself. And then you check in with your partner and you say, okay, what could I do for you? I have a little more stability today. I'd like to help you. Can I give you a massage if you're partnered together, if you're in the same house? Or can I, make a meal and you come by and get it? Or some sense of care, but starting with yourself first and then with your partner. So the Buddha, I've been a Buddhist and believe in Jesus, and I believe in all of them. I believe in everything and nothing. How about that? But I often love the words of the Buddha. His final words were, be the light unto yourself. And that was very powerful of all things. Here's this enlightened being that came in to show us that if we can understand the nature of mind, this is really the Buddha's teachings. If we can understand and harness and refocus the nature of mind, that its nature is to dissect and to separate and to find something wrong with a person, with yourself, with a situation, with a relationship at all times. If we could learn to use that intense focus by focusing it with our awareness and with our heart and our compassion, to see, show me what needs to be tended to in my daily life for me to feel more whole and peaceful. Show me what needs to happen, what needs to be nurtured or encouraged or supported, where more of my attention needs to go in my intimate relationship. In a relationship I just began, that it hasn't worked in the past, so how can I be different now? How can I bring more to this relationship in areas that I know that I have been deficient in before. Again, we can only exhibit a behavior with ease that we know for ourselves. So if I have kindness and patience and compassion for myself, if I am aware of when things are too much and I can say to someone in that moment, I'm not clear how to respond, but I know I can't, because if I did, I would not be happy with the results. This is not a time to fight with people. This is not a time that it's your way or the highway. This is not a time to be rigid. This is a time to look in the moment and see what is happening here. Where best can I put my energy? So we don't want to be focused on the past with depression. We could only be here and keep checking in. What is this? What is this? What is this? And to be focused on the future, like wanting this to be over. I want to get back to normal life. I need to tell you gently, it will never be as you've known. I'm certain you really need to know it's never going to be, life is never going to be as we have known it. So let's redesign it. Let's redesign our relationships, starting with our relationship to ourselves and our relationship to the people that we care most for. If you are challenged with a parent that's stubborn, that is fixed, that is a certain way, and you always get into this same little hook, then look to see how you can let go of your belief, of your fierce, it has to be this way, and let that go. And think in terms of, they may not be around long. So how can I, if this is the last time I'm going to interact with my parent, either by phone or in person, think in terms of that, because we never know when it's the last time, not because of the virus, but because of life. So think in terms of, do I want this last time to be through a battle? Do I need to convey something or be right? Or do I want to find a way to connect with them, find a way to help ease their fears, find a way to love them, to find a common groove, a way of relating, an even point of balance of relating. Do we want to be right, or do we want to connect? That is really the question. Do we want to be right, or do we want to connect? I believe the answer is we want to connect. I read this funny little thing online the other day that said, my husband and I are playing this little game. Why are you doing it that way? And they wrote, nobody's winning. So I know it could get annoying. I know if you're stuck with the same mirror, the same interaction all the time, that it could be challenging. But instead of picking a fight because you have a little more energy, or you're frustrated, or you're scared, how about saying, okay, well, that's a different way. Or explain to me why you're doing it that way, because not in a hostile way, not in because you know better, but really in a curiosity about how their mind works, how that made them feel like this is the best way to do something. Be curious about why that matters to them. Curiosity is the remedy for any type of distension, for any type of conflict, because the curiosity means your mind is not set and fixed in a box. Your mind is open and soft and spacious, and you want to learn, and you want to grow, and you want to be new. We want to plant seeds for redesigning ourselves and our relationship to how we relate to others. So, a couple exercises that I love to offer in each of my podcasts that you can journal. So this is one of your tools. So the first is, what is the greatest change you wish for in your relationship to yourself? If there was one thing that you know that needed to be addressed to bring more peace and ease and balance to your life, what would that be? So what is that one thing you want to change in your relationship to yourself? And that means how you view yourself. And really journal. That could be a whole 10-minute journaling about what is it? Because if we ask for one thing instead of picking ourselves apart because there's so many things to work on, then who wants to get out of bed with that one? It's way too much. Don't be so harsh. Don't be that judge and that critic. Another podcast to listen to of mine. That inner judge and that inner critic is relentless. Now is the time to let that judge go. Let that inner critic go and let your heart really let it beat, let it be open, let it be safe, let it experiment with new ways of communicating, let it have its voice, let it strengthen its voice. And have that humility to know that we don't know much right now. That, again, you walk softly, you walk gently, you say something, this is what I believe I know right now. This is what it feels like I know right now. But with that, you see the difference of decreeing something? Like this is exact, this is defined, this is forever versus I'm not sure, but this is what I believe up to this point. And then be curious about, is there room to change, to expand in there? So another journaling exercise is, what is the greatest change you want in relationship to your partner, to your parent, to your child, to your friend, whoever is a significant relationship in your life? Or what is the greatest change you want in a new relationship that you want to cultivate? And reflecting back to past relationships, regardless if you're with someone or not right now, what was the common theme that came up in every relationship? Don't look at the face, because it's going to be basically a different face, same pattern, because you're the same usually. So until you work on yourselves and figure that out, what would you want to be different in this relationship that we're redesigning with the partner you have, with the partner you want? And don't be discouraged, because it's not like we're never going to meet anyone again. Like I said, people that are meeting online, I have lots of clients and friends that are doing this. You just get a longer courtship and you'll be able to be more raw and real. Like eventually, no makeup, this is who I am, sharing your fears, sharing your what's challenging for you, sharing so many things. Like what can we do to be kinder to ourselves? When you get to a level of comfort with a partner, this is one of the exercises I recommend, is sharing with your partner. You both sit and reflect for a moment or journal it, but what is your strongest judgment about yourself? And this is a hard one to share, but when you share that with your partner and they're the right partner for you, they're going to have, their heart's going to open to you. There's going to be this softening and this vulnerability and this honor that you're sharing, such, instead of I have it all together, this is the part that I've always beat up about myself. This is the view of me that comes up periodically when I'm off balance, and I'm seeing it more because of what's happening in the world, and I'm more scared. And maybe by sharing that, when or if you're open, you could say, do you have any feedback or any ideas of what I can't see that you can give me reflection on, that maybe I could help to heal or incorporate or change that view? And then you both share this and allow space for that. And that becomes such a deepening of your hearts, of your, we're human, we're all wounded, we're all raw. I always told my students years and years ago, we connect on so many levels, yet we bond through our wounds, through our commonalities of our wounds. That's the deepest bond. There's a familiarity. And hopefully we bring light to these things right now. If people are, I'm telling you, before this crisis happened in the world, everyone who had their issues, and we all have issues, regardless of if it's drinking issues or relationship issues or distraction issues or can't ever stay present or never takes care of themselves or just like raging or who knows what their issues are, overworking, overspending, all of those issues are still up for us, and they're even more amplified because we don't have anything that is stable or familiar. We have nothing to depend on right now that we know will be certain. Nothing is certain, nothing. The only thing that is certain is we are breathing right now. And I'm noticing with this virus all around the world, and unfortunately the people that are losing their lives, it's through their respiratory and they just suffocate. And that's sad. So I'm telling you, throughout the day, it's more meaningful. I'm more mindful of my breath, of noticing my breath. So that's helping me stay anchored. And spirituality, they say to always keep 1/3 attention in. So I'm focusing either at the nostrils or the belly, noticing my breath in the body. So always, always, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm talking to someone or if I'm recording this podcast or if I'm working out, tracking my breath. And I'm adding gratitude. I'm noticing I am so grateful I can breathe. I'm so grateful I could smell the flowers or the smell outside after the rain, how wonderful that is with that moisture in the dirt. And my dogs, after they go out to pee in the rain, as much as that's not one of my favorite, I'm grateful I can smell that. So bringing that in, that gratitude, that yes, we're breathing throughout the day. So 1/3 attention in and 2/3 out. 2/3 is focused right now on doing this podcast. I don't even write it out anymore. I mean, I never edited it, but now I just come up with a topic and some ideas and I just go for it. So I have no idea. If you're enjoying my podcasts, if these help you in any way, please contact me. I mean, I would love to know that this matters to anyone, and why not? I mean, you could text or call 808-283-7587. You can email me, Samana, SAMANA, at spaluna, SPALUNA.com. And yes, wherever you are in the world, we have it. And I do Zoom sessions and FaceTime and Messenger and Skype and whatever you need. If you want counseling, like I said, I'm doing a sliding scale 25 and up. And we'll figure this out. But let's see, what else do we have? Okay. Now, if you're finding that you're having challenges being isolated with your partner and there's not a lot of space, to honor each other, first off, checking in daily, like have a conscious check-in, like how are you today? Because do you know every moment and even each day it changes throughout the day. That's how momentary, that's how everything is just so like floating on the water. There's not a lot of ground right now. We're still figuring this out, figuring out what our balance is. This Libra full moon, hopefully we'll have balance by the end of this month. Some sense of balance. Not meaning that this is solid and I'm 100% and I'm going to be okay all the time. It means that I notice as soon as I start to get off, and I know, meaning off balance, and I notice exactly what I need to do to find that balance. If it's just going in a corner and being quiet myself, or if it's doing some jump squats, or if it's, I don't know, something inspiring. I'm watching Picard on CBS right now. I am an old Trekkie fan, and my good friend from Maui just told me about it. It's like, okay, it's 30 days free. I signed up for it. I am enjoying it. Oh my God, that's a wonderful blessing right now. Little things like that we're appreciating. So, And remember to laugh throughout the day. Like, find things that make you happy. Don't, I would say, with your reading and your trending online and stuff, or with conversations, if it's challenging, like, give yourself a break. Maybe check in to see, do you have that stability today before you call that person or do that thing or read that book? Or how about reading something fun and light or funny, or just streaming some comedies? There are so many great comedians out there. We need to laugh. And there are rules of, like, our parasympathetic nervous system. There's some little rules that work here. So one is, let's say we're totally stressed out. I just posted this on Facebook, so any of you can friend me on Facebook and somehow message me or whatever, that you're one of my listeners, or text me first so that I know, and I'll friend you. But one of the things where, if you're challenged, to help reboot your parasympathetic nervous system, and we want more of the good hormones, the serotonin and endorphins and epinephrine, all the good things that help us relax and feel safe and happy and easeful, is to smile. Smile. Make it a forced smile, even if it's not feeling sincere. Make it a forced smile and just hold that. Montauk Chia does a practice where he says smiling down into the organs, where if my liver's being challenged right now, or if my stomach, I'm having digestive problems, or if my heart's palpitating, or if my lungs are feeling a little congested, or my brain's foggy, or my kidneys, I'm peeing all the time and I'm overheated and my blood pressure's too high. All of these things, putting that smile on your face and smiling, taking a moment to close your eyes and smiling into those organs where you just see the smile into the heart and see the smile into the stomach to the left under the rib cage and the pancreas, and see the smile in the liver and the gallbladder to the right at the base of the rib cage, and see the lungs, smiling into those lungs and making it happy, smiling into your colon, letting it be nice and relaxed, noticing, are you holding your stomach and your colon tight? Is it contracted, or are you allowing a deep belly breath to happen? That helps the nervous system be relaxed also. Smiling into your kidneys, which are just where the waist bends at the back, and noticing joy and ease in there. And doing this smiling into the organs with that smile on your face, and do this at least 5 to 10 minutes. And the other gesture, they say, is to have your palms upward, as if you're receiving, as if you're open, as if you're surrendered. I'm open. My body posture is saying, I'm open to receive, that I need to receive right now. And just see how that feels. And if you're at work and you're driving, pull off to the side and just close your eyes and do that smiling, that inner smile to all the organs, and hold your palms upward as if saying to the angels or spirit or whatever, your ancestors, I just need to receive. I need to feel these blessings right now. And always clear out that sigh, that breath of ha. And this too will pass. And that's all I have for this week's podcast. So enjoy that full moon. I'm doing an online women's group where we're doing a full moon dance party. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to dance around and howl at that moon. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it or not. It's considered a pink moon. How about that? It's supposed to be quite bright and beautiful if you have a clear sky. We have the sun trying to peek out today in Austin. And either way, I'm going to enjoy it. And remember, there's so many things to do online, and do ours. Join up for our Be a Relationship Architect on Facebook. We have a group page that's interactive, and I post and David posts. We try to post something every day or every other day, wonderful relationship articles. So the thing about the way we teach is we're both not into gender roles in any way. So I believe in traditional monogamy relationships, if that's your way. I don't have a view that it needs to be that way. If you're into dyads and triads and open relationships and it's working for you and everybody's honest and authentic and there's harmony and ease and support and you can go deep and connect and there's no avoidance, because in my younger days when I dated a few people at once, I did that as a built-in mechanism so that I wouldn't get attached to anyone, so my heart wouldn't have to be attached to anyone. Again, this could be my design. I'm not putting that judgment on people. So I just say, if you're open and authentic and everybody's on board, good for you. But I believe in that traditional monogamy because it is not easy showing up with your partner every day when you're this terrified, when you're, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I, going to function? Like, how will I have my sense of independence? Will I keep my autonomy? Will I be able to partner? Will I be able to be held and vulnerable and say, I'm terrified and I don't have a clue right now? Because that is that authenticity to yourself, and to share that with another person is the way to build intimacy, the way to build communication skills. And again, join our group. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll send you a link, and I am wishing you all the best and so many blessings. Stay safe and healthy out there. Enjoy your breath. We're so grateful for that. Aloha.